Hey everybody, November 2nd, 2020. In case you missed the Google Meet today, we are going to go over making and storing chicken stock. There is a Blanch and Shock review video in the week number 9 folder, and then you're going to take a quiz on chicken stock and blanching and shocking. Watch this, and then watch the Blanch and Shock video, and then take the quiz, and you will make 100. If you do not watch the video, you will not. Okay, so let's get started. What's the difference between stock and broth? Well, we were talking about this earlier. Broth is made usually with scraps of meat, and stock is always made with bones from an animal: chicken, beef, pork. Today we're going to probably use chicken, talk more about chicken stock than anything else. But broth is made from, there's no bones in broth usually. It's usually just from scraps of meat. So you get a better quality stock, in my opinion, when you use bones. So if you'll see here, I'm not sure what the best color to use is. This right here, we were talking about this. This is, you see this at Walmart, at the grocery store. This is canned chicken broth. They also make cartons of chicken stock, and we were talking about why is making homemade, like this one right here, better? Well, the reason that this tastes better, in my opinion, is because this one here has a lot of preservatives and a lot of sodium, and that's why it can stay on the shelf without refrigeration. So we discussed that today. Moving along. So far, no test questions. Okay, here's a test question. You always start stock with cold water, okay? You start stock with cold water. You put your bones in, you put cold water, cover the bones, and the reasoning behind this is when you add cold water, it helps extract the flavors from the bones better. If you add hot water, it can kind of seal in what you're trying to get out of the bones in the first place. Also, hot water sits in your hot water tank, and it can be a little weird sometimes. Then this kind of foam stuff will come to the top, okay? And this picture here was supposed to be cold water. And you're going to skim this off. You bring to a boil, and then you simmer. Bring to a boil and simmer. There's a test question right there. Cold water. There's a test question right there. That's 2. And there's only 5. Moving along. Hey, guess what? Here's another test question. These right here, let me draw an arrow like this. These are aromatics: bay leaf, thyme, peppercorn. We use these to add to a stock, to season it. Depending on what you're doing, it depends on how much of this stuff you would use. But really the point I want to make is this is called mirepoix, and it's usually carrots, onions, and celery rough chop. And you add this to flavor a stock. Mirepoix. That's another test question. How long do you simmer chicken stock? There's different opinions on this. Depends on how big the chicken bones are and things in that nature. But usually it's not as long as you think. About an hour and a half to 2 hours of simmering is plenty of time. And after that, you're just you're not going to get much flavor out of those things. Now what? You strain it. You strain the chicken stock. Okay? Okay, we strain it. I'm going to say this. I think the next slide says it too. This is a test question. You keep the liquid and you throw away the bones. I will say it again. You keep the liquid and you throw away the bones. The bones have served their purpose. We got all the flavor out of them, and now that flavor is in this liquid right here, okay? Keep the liquid, save the bones. Keep the liquid, not the bones. Trying to make that point perfectly clear. I think that's about it. Let me see if there might be one more. Okay, yeah. How do we get chicken stock out of the TDZ? We can have an ice bath like this. Or this here, is an ice wand. Both acceptable methods to get chicken stock out of the TDZ. And we discussed this today too. Once you refrigerate it and put the stock in the refrigerator and get it covered, the next day all the fat and impurities will rise to the top and you can just scrape it right off. So I think that's it. It's got everything you need to take the quiz. Message me if you have any questions. Have a nice day.